you are on here, let me know. I know it takes a little bit. This is completely, kind of, sort of last minute. Not entirely last minute. I just didn't get to it last night. So if you are on, let me know. I have a couple things to show y'all. Not a lot. I'm just going to wait just a minute before I get going. Hey, Erica. Hi, Patricia. I may have been from my phone just now. Hi, Patricia. I'll wait just a minute. Let a couple people hop on. I know this is like zero warning. I meant to do this yesterday, and it just didn't happen. What's up, baby? Hi. My child says hi. Hi, Mickey. Okay, I'm going to write that down. Hi, Sheila, Christina, Suzanne, everybody. Okay, Bailey's King. I'm going to write that down, Mickey. I have this little cheat sheet right here. Hi, Lillian. Hi, Connie. I try and like look up the name that goes with the user tag. It doesn't always work. Hey, Deborah Jo. Hi, Patricia. Wow, we have like 3 countries already represented right now. That's so cool. Hi, Dawn. Hi, Cynthia. Erica, that's amazing. I will not sing happy birthday to you. Not because it's not your birthday, but because I do not sing well. Hi, Megan. Peggy. That's awesome. Okay, so let's start with this month's subscription box. This has been in my car, so there's a very high likelihood that these have been warped by the heat because it's literally 90 degrees where I'm standing right now. It's 100 degrees if I put this up on my shelf. So, oy. I'm great, Peggy. I am full. We went to dinner with my sister-in-law. Oh, since I didn't plan on it, but I can. I absolutely can. We'll do that. We'll be sure and do that. So let's start with this month's subscription box from Franz. And if you guys haven't ever ordered from her, she's amazing. Peggy, I have an air conditioner going that has literally been on since like 7 a.m. this morning. It just can't keep up. I need to do better insulation out here. Anyways, so very first one, I believe Sapphire was one of the finds just a month or 2 ago. So here is the Chunky. Did you need it for something? Or are you just out here?
Do you think Dad took me on a motorcycle ride?
Tonight?
He literally just went to that.
Man, that's pretty. It's really funny. My 14-year-old just wanted her dad to take her on a motorcycle ride. That's random. Teresa, yeah, I'm actually just like maybe 3 hours from the Arkansas border. So, girl, oof, we're probably in the same boat. So this is Sapphire Chunky. It's really pretty. It's a metallic, not a holographic, which is nice. I have lots of holographic. Yeah, Suzanne, the pictures, the screen never does justice. I thought for a second it froze up. No, that was me walking away. So this is Woody Chunky. This is one of my favorite browns. I have the fine. Espresso is the holographic version of this. Erica, that's amazing. I love it. Oh, man. Alright, so here is our Woody. It's a non-holographic brown. It kind of looks maroon. Hi, Naomi. It kind of looks maroon on my screen. Hopefully it doesn't for you guys. Espresso Shot is the holographic version of this. Pretty close anyways. Hi, G. Peggy, in my opinion, all chunkies do because the surface is just too flat and it just naturally repels. So I go crazy with this stuff. Hi, Rhonda. Mahogany is more red than what this really is, Sheila. So it's not just my screen. It is looking red too on y'all's end. It actually doesn't seem quite as red in person. Let me grab my ring light. Maybe that'll help. Hi, Angie. Oh, Patricia, I would take winter right now. I don't do hot. Oh, I don't do hot very well at all. You can put on more clothes off and still be socially acceptable. Okay, so let's do this. Why is it flashing? Oh my gosh, Alaska. That's actually sounding kind of appealing right now. What is this? Is it flashing on y'all's side? I hope not. I hope it's not blurry either. Please tell me if it's blurry for you guys. It's blurry on my screen, but like I've said many, many times, it's a junky TV that was like literally $100. So if it is blurry, please, please, please comment. Okay, I wonder if it's because I turned off. Dang, okay. Y'all bear with me for just a second. I'm gonna try and fix it. Okay. I don't know if what I did actually did anything or if it just happened to clear up. I'm not so sure. Alright, so this is Myrtle. This looks very similar to Frozen. Thanks for letting me know, guys. I hate when I watch a video playback and it's blurry. It's always frustrating because hi, Beverly. Welcome to the crazy train. Alright, so Myrtle, it's very pretty. It's very, very similar to Frozen to me. Or Elsa? I don't know. One of the two. Oh yeah, I forgot. I brought the ring light over here so I could try and show y'all. It's kind of like a turquoise. Something. Hi, Lamari. It's kind of like a turquoise. Not quite full-blown turquoise, but pretty darn close to it. I brought the light so I could show you this, and then I didn't do it. Put some on here. Now let me get my ring back up here. Let's see if that shows it better. Does that look less red now? Hi, Stephanie. No, it actually looks more red. Oh my goodness, that's not helpful at all. So this, picture it like a Hershey Kiss. It's pretty close to the color of a Hershey Kiss. Not exactly, but pretty close. It's not red as it's showing on. I tried. Hi, Sheila. I mean, Sarah. I'm looking at Sheila's comment. Ooh, my goodness, that is so pretty. This is a color shift. So, I did not watch the live. She usually does a reveal of the subscription box, and I've just had a lot going on, as you can tell by my absence. Yes, Dawn, it's very chocolatey. Very, very chocolatey. So I am seeing all of these for the first time, with the exception of a couple of people kind of giving a sneak peek. So this shifts from gold to orange. Very fall. I'm gonna focus, there we go. It's a very fall vibe. Just a hint of green in that holographic. Oh, Patricia, a Hershey Kiss. Oh, it's candy. It's candy and it's so delicious. Just chocolate. It's called a kiss because of the movement that the machine makes to the belt as it's making it. Ooh, yeah. So I love this. I have a pen right here. This is the chunky Nightlife that came in last month's subscription box. Or maybe it may not have been a subscription box color. This may have been one that you could buy separate just because she got a bunch of new colors. It's gorgeous. But this is the fine little sister to it. It's like a purpley pink, somewhat rose gold, almost peachy shift. It's really hard to describe some of these. And like I said, they never do. Yeah, Space Pickle, that is the... Oh, it's so pretty. I love it. I'm going to show y'all another one that I got last month as well. It was another one that she released at the same time. I didn't buy all the colors, but I bought a couple of the new releases that weren't subscription colors. These will be available on her site at the beginning of next month. Yeah, so you can kind of see. Let's see if I can get that to focus. That's pretty decent. The shift isn't as obvious in the fine as it is the chunky. That chunky, man, that is life. It is so gorgeous. So here it is again for your viewing pleasure. It needs another coat of epoxy. I had to sand it down a little bit, but it's so pretty. The other color that I got last month was this. It's Huckleberry. It's like green and lighter purple, but when you try and look at it, you can't really get it to really focus on anything. So I'm hoping that there's a fine of this one in the future, because that Huckleberry is just, I love it. It's so pretty. So that is the subscription box that just came out. So a color shift. This one's technically a color shift also. It's just a little trickier to catch. A metallic chunky, and another regular chunky. So really great box. I've never been disappointed in any of her subscription boxes. They're great. She does sign-ups once a month for the monthly. Oh, did you get that one too, Sarah? I love it. I couldn't wait to use it. She does sign-ups for the monthly subscription, but then she also will post in the group when she has extras ready. So, you know what? Let's do the cup next so it can start kind of settling. So I got this really great mix from Feather Bear. I've already put the bag up, but it was jambalaya. I showed this on my last live. It's just everything in here. Like all kinds of shapes, right? I added a pinch of every shape that I own. So right there you can see a tree and a cross. It may have had moons in it, but I added some. I added a couple Deathly Hollows. I added unicorns. A little bit of everything. Hi, Kara. And I've got somebody that ordered Yeti cups and had them shipped straight to me so she could have the name brand because she could get them cheaper than me. And so we're going to do this, but I wanted to do a test on her regular cup. This is what happens. This is what is stuck to my feet. I made a mess earlier and dumped them out. That's another shape that's in there too. So I'm going to mix up some epoxy real quick. I'm not going to do a ton of epoxy because I'm going to use regular KS resin on my pens, so I have a little bit more work time. But I'm going to use Liquidy Split on this because I want it to set up enough, and then I want to be able to pat it down when I'm done before I go to bed. The one disadvantage that I'm finding of the Liquidy Split is if I don't torch it just right when it's on the top coat, I fight those bubbles. But on the other one, I keep this little spray bottle of 91% alcohol close by. And on that other one, it's liquid cast thing. Just Liquid Art Ultra UV is what the other one is. It responds so well to the alcohol to pop the bubbles. I'm just mixing 10 milliliters right now. I might should start keeping my epoxy on the top shelf so that it'll stay warm whenever it's time to come working out here. It's definitely cooler on the floor, obviously. Oh, I'm so sorry, that was loud. I dropped the cabinet door. I didn't mean for that to happen, I'm sorry. I'm not in love with how close this fits, but this particular rod only fits this turner. And I usually like my other one better. So what I do with any of my chunky mixes, and especially this shapes mix, I'm going to put a nice heavy coat of epoxy on there. Like if you were to do epoxy method, fine. Let's say you did 2 milliliters for this whole thing. If I'm going to do something super chunky like that, I'm going to do more like probably 5. So I obviously mixed up too much, but it was just easier. All right. It's still pretty warm, even though it's on the floor and it's definitely cooler down there than right here. It is still plenty warm to mix up nice. So now I'm just going to throw this on here really generously. This is one of my slower turners. It's a test of patience for sure. Yeah, Stephanie, that burnt sienna, oh man, it's beautiful. I didn't realize till today how many oranges I have, and that one is definitely going to make a nice addition. Teresa, this base is Rust-Oleum Coral. This is the same one I used on that mermaid cup from a couple weeks ago. Since this has so much pink in it, I thought, oh, that'd be a good little match in case I had a little weird spot that kind of peekabooed through. I'm totally picturing myself with a cup like this. I don't know, maybe I'll keep this one. When you're stuck on hold and you're like, oh, let's see how many shapes I can find while I'm on hold. It's like a good fidget, but not with fidgeting. Look with your eyes, not your hands. Yeah, Kara, this color is really pretty. It was the middle color on that mermaidy. Suzanne, you're picturing exactly what I'm talking about, aren't you? It's so funny. Sorry for being MIA lately, y'all. You know, life just gets in the way. Ooh, fire orange? Is that a spray paint or a glitter, Kara? Yes, exactly, Angie. I should probably like cut out a little Waldo. I'll have to look into that, Kara, because I bet that would be great with the firefighter cups. As a good base for that. I should totally cut out a Waldo and put it in here. That would be epic. Nice little surprise. All right, Erica. Tell him I said happy birthday to him. And don't eat too much imaginary cake again. Oh, that's funny. I miss mine being that little. Mine are 14 and 17, and 14-year-old's super sweet, but the 17-year-old, man, he smells and he's mouthy. You'd think a 14-year-old girl would be way more mouthy than a 17-year-old boy, but no. Oh, Erica, that's cute. Like a little Easter egg. That's pretty cute. Alright, almost done. This is taking forever because, like I said, this is one of my slower turners. I only have 2 that turn at the speed that I find acceptable. Oh, Erica, Kara, it goes so fast. All right, even though I've got a nice base on here, I'm going to go ahead and put just a little bit more. I really like how the glitter just settles in. Like it gets all cozy in there and just kind of sinks in. And it really doesn't affect how it looks on the top in a bad way. Only in a good way. Alright, let me just smooth this out and then we'll get to the glitter part. So for the pins when we get there, I just have a handful of some of my favorite glitters. Some of them I haven't played with in a while, so I'm kind of missing them. Oh my gosh, building a house, that's amazing. One of these days we are going to build a house. We have 2.5 acres out here in the country. And the original thought was to build a house someday. And I don't know when that's going to happen, but I'm looking forward to it for sure. Okay, so let's do the bottom first, and then we'll do the sides. I really hope I mixed up enough. We'll find out. Actually may not have. Oh my gosh. Okay, so shapes do not lay down quite the same as glitter, so maybe that should have been a regular glitter. We're learning together. No biggie. I love that, the fleur-de-lis. I don't remember seeing that before, but I may have. Main idea of doing this before doing her cup is to make sure it looks like what she's picturing it's going to look like. So what I'll do after 10 or 15 minutes, after we do several pins, I'm going to go back to this and pat it down. Because most of this is going to lay pretty good, but some of these shapes like that little dinosaur right there, it's just harder for it to lay down. And that's okay. That's the point of patting it down later. Cynthia, so far I've had luck with the Liquidy Split Ultra UV. But I don't do a lot of white cups, so I can't speak 100% on how much it does or does not yellow. So I'm thinking maybe on the one that I make for her, on her Yeti. I'm pretty sure I just saw a rubber ducky shape. I think what I might do is a glitter base, and then just kind of sprinkle some more on top with another epoxy layer. Teresa, this is Feather Bear's jambalaya with a pinch of every shape that I own mixed in. I put it in its own shaker just in case I was not loving having all the other. There's a boot and a bear and a Deathly Hollow. Lots of stars, little snowflake right there. Super fun. Cynthia, this jambalaya mix came from Feather Bear. I've got the link to her shop in the description, and Friends also. But I added, I actually made a TikTok today of all the different shapes that I added. I had to blow through them pretty fast. The only thing I didn't show in the TikTok, I think, I may have missed a couple on getting them on camera, was, yes, Stephanie, exactly. I think all I missed was the Pac-Man mix that I have. Mickey, your favorite is Fran's or Feather Bear? I love them both. They're super sweet. Fran and Brittany are amazing. Dan and Heather. I haven't had much interaction, but what I've had, they're so nice. She hops on here every once in a while. She was actually able to answer a question on inventory status on one of the glitters I was showing. Heather was. It was pretty perfect timing. Oh yeah. Yeah, I like them a lot. They're beautiful colors, for sure. Okay, so I'm just going to tap this down. And then go back over it and hopefully catch some of the smaller pieces around the rim. Oh yeah. Mark, I actually didn't fish eyes on that. I actually have that cup within arm's reach, so I can show you. I sprayed it really good though with matte clear, because I was really trying to avoid that from happening from the get-go. Thank you, Victoria. I saw your comment right after I did that. It definitely needs a little bit more. And this is why I put it as a little color so it wouldn't be so obvious. I think I lost connection, so sorry y'all. I lost connection for a minute somehow, y'all. I'm sorry. Oh, I just hit the cup with my finger. Get it out of the way. Deborah Jo, it is pricey, but I enjoy the mixes that I've bought, for sure. Like, this right here. That's Yonsei, I think. McKelvey, this is jambalaya. Let me go grab the bag real quick. I'll show y'all. Oh, thanks, y'all. Y'all are telling for me. Thank you. I will grab the bag so you can actually see it. I have a link to her shop in the description. So I put a little bit of this, a couple tablespoons of this in here, and then I added a little bit of all the shapes I have. Like right here, this anchor right here is from mine. These little pieces of tinsel, that's something I got from the little heads right there. And I think it had some hearts, but I added more that I got somewhere. You can see the snowflake, I added that. Little dinosaur, it's a little T-Rex. Super cute. All right, so let's set that aside. We're gonna let this kind of settle in a little bit, and then we'll pat it down in a bit. I'm getting tangled up with my cords here. Let's not do that. I do have an Instagram. I am not very tech savvy. For only being 41, I should be more tech savvy than I am. But it's called the Purple Stitch TX. Purple Stitch was already taken on Instagram. But I do TikTok and Facebook also, and those are both just the Purple Stitch. So now let's get started on some pins. So this is the pen holder that Donna from Crosby Innovations / Cuba Lake Crafts. Oh, that's what I forgot. Okay, I meant to put her Etsy shop in here. I forgot to put it in the description. That was in my intentions, and I forgot. But they created this. First, they sent me this littler one right here, which is great. 6 is great whenever I'm doing a small batch. But I was like, oh man, too bad it didn't hold a whole pack of pens. And then they sent this, and it's so great. And they even sent it with this amazing note. Boom. I keep that right here because it makes me laugh. They also sent me this. It's a support. So, like, whenever you're working on something heavier or longer or whatever, it's so perfect. It just does that right there. I have mine set for my exact need here. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Oh, it's hot in here. Hey, I've gone down a degree. It's only 89 now. Oh, you shouldn't be excited about 89 degrees in your workspace, but it is what it is. So I have a couple of pens that I already have ready to, it just needs another coat of epoxy. Yeah, Deborah Jo, they have all kinds of options. It's nice because not everybody needs the giant one and some people need the bigger one. But they have a code actually, it's called Purple 20. That'll get you 20% off of almost everything in their Etsy shop. I don't think it works for everything, but at least works for the pen holders and the support there. And they're actually working on an adjustable cup chuck. I don't think that is ready yet. All right. My epoxy is set up just a little too much, so we're gonna let it pour out in here. I emptied my TARDIS finally. That was a long time in the making. So for these, I'm gonna mix up the regular, just regular KS resin. Erin, each pencil or dowel can have a slight variation in circumference. So what I've got on here is a little bit of electrical tape. Some of my pens need less, like this one has a smaller bit where this one needed more. It's because there's slight variations in the production. So it just kind of there. And it doesn't even need a whole wrap around typically. I started with a full wrap, and actually this pencil is small enough that it does need it. But not all of them do. Some of them need half of that. I don't understand, but it's a manufacturing thing because of, I mean, just like with anything. Like, I work in glasses, and we have frames that literally, they feel different. Every single frame feels a little different than the previous of the same thing. Yeah, Erica, I sure did. Right here. It's a heavy beast, man. I should weigh it and see how much it actually weighs. Alright, so now for epoxy. I say the word so a lot. I appreciate y'all's patience. I used to say and like, and apparently in my efforts to stop doing that, I replaced it with that word instead. I'm trying to get better because now that I'm aware of it, I'm hoping to not do it so much again anymore. This is just the regular liquid art. I do love this stuff as a top coat for sure. Yeah, this support right here, it's amazing. My turner, this is the turner I built when I first started 2.5 years ago. Over 2.5 years, because I was making Christmas gifts months before Christmas. 2 years ago. 2 Christmases ago. So it's kind of probably on its last leg. At least getting there soon. So there I go again. Just like with my cups and chunky, I like for my pens to have a nice base as well. Hi, Amy. Oh, so there's Cuba Lake and Cuba Lake Crafts. So she has 2 shops. One that's the stuff that they use that are like the accessories and the tools and stuff. And then the other site is where she actually sells the things that she makes, like her tumblers, coasters, I think. So if it wasn't in one, check the other. All right. God, these gloves are so hot. It's so hot in here, y'all. I am literally on the verge of a heat stroke. Holding steady at 89 now. It does show that it was 101 degrees in here at one point today. Yowza. So this one I'm just going really thin because it literally only needs a thin layer because I sanded a spot. This is Nightlife. This is the one I showed earlier. It's so pretty. So when you're doing these, try not to scrape your finger across the hole like that because you'll end up with a ledge of epoxy inside. And then if you'll do the same, try not to scrape this way because epoxy will just bond your pen to your pencil. Yeah, Sarah, I am north of Fort Worth. Definitely Texas. I think we're going to finish off the insulation. My walls are insulated. We did that before I had the drywall and electrical installed. But we need to redo the attic part of it because this is one of those barn-shaped ones. And we use it as our attic since we don't have a real attic. So I'm just throwing a little bit on each of these. This is Tahiti. How pretty that is. It's like blue and green and lighter green. One of the chunky mixes I was looking for earlier was Pascal. I don't think I used it all, but man, I could not find it. It's an iridescent green that I used on my Christmas light tumblers. It's beautiful. It's one of my favorite greens for sure. So I'm just throwing a thin layer, get that boy out of the way. Because I'm paranoid and like I said, some of these pencils are a little bit, need a little bit more circumference added to them than others. I actually like to wrap electrical tape around my pencils So I'm going to do this middle layer first. And then I just use the same piece of electrical tape until it's not sticky anymore. Just something to secure it, because I know that my shed is not level. And I have micro vibrations in my turner. And it has definitely worked against me in the past. If you happen to catch my Serape ink one, you can see the lines that it put in the micro vibrations. It's weird, the lines it made. This one is Betty Davis from Feather Bear. I'm getting to the point where I don't remember all the names of my glitters anymore. I don't know what to think about that. I definitely remember my favorites, but I have a pen over here. I'm not positive what glitter's on it. I think it's Ursula. I'm almost positive that it's Ursula. I have no idea. We'll see it in just a minute. Deborah Jo, I don't know, but you could easily do something Christmas themed if you wanted to get a jump. That could easily be a summer, or, I just realized I was off camera, I'm sorry. That could be a summer or a Christmassy color. Alright, this one is Orchid. This was one of the subscription box colors from a couple months ago. It had a little oopsie. Another pen fell off and stuck to it. So I was able to sand off the glitter that stuck to it. These aren't even for an order, they're just to have, because I feel like I do pretty good having ready to ship. And I'm planning on doing some, Suzanne, some of these, almost all of these are friends. I'll show you in just a second. I want to do a craft show or two-ish, we'll see, this year. So I'm working on the inventory, so every cup that you see on a video is pretty much just me building my inventory with stuff that I wanted to make. I have a whole list. So Suzanne, this is the only one that's not Franz. This kind of purplish with the silver. Tahiti, Nightlife, Huckleberry, Feather Bears, Betty Dave, Orchid. And I'm pretty positive that this is Ursula. I wish I knew for sure. There's an Ursula and an Ursula 2.0. This one needs a good cleanup, but I like to get it on there first. Why is this not turning? Oh my gosh, y'all, we almost had an oopsie. The cup was not turning. It slipped out of the connector. I would have been so mad if that started just sliding off of there. So here is my piece of tape that I use. I didn't put it on there the way I normally do, but that's okay. I just want it on there, touching, connecting, whatever. Just a little added security. I have a long piece for the outside. Oh my gosh, I looked over, I'm like, oh, that looks weird. It's because it's not doing anything. Man, my hands are so hot in those gloves, oh my gosh. I gotta let my hands cool off, or my hands won't go back into these gloves. I'd love to know where everybody's from. I know we've got a Puerto Rico and an Australia. Any other countries represented other than US? I know we've got several states. We've got California, Florida, Arkansas, and Oklahoma represented right now. My hands are too hot. Ohio, Illinois. Love it. I'm kind of sad that I have to wear gloves. I got my nails done yesterday and I'm so proud of them. I had to have this one redone. I picked a really bad yellow. So I went back and paid for a new fingernail today. All right, Indiana, West Virginia. Love it. Love it, love it. So I pulled out a few of my old school. Hey, Donna, you're by Fran's. She's in Marshall. So I pulled out a few of my oldies but goodies and a couple of fairly new ones. There's just a couple of glitters that just have my heart because I just love them so much. So first one will be, so I have Oktoberfest 2.0. New York. Oh yeah, I forgot you're in Texas, Erica. So Oktoberfest 2.0 is like rose gold and copper and navy and a couple other colors that I can't quite get wrapped around my tongue, but it is so pretty. So like I said, with chunky mixes, I want a nice thick base. Not dripping off, but enough that it's gonna hold steady. Is Conroe down by Houston? I feel like I've seen that before, but I don't know why I would have seen that. If it's down by Houston, it was on my way to Galveston to cruise. Yeah, Lillian, the screen does not do justice. Hey, we got 2 people in Conroe? That's cool. Small world, huh? All right. I'm going to move this out of the way so that I can have this. Hey, you guys are, all 3 of y'all are neighbors. That's pretty fun. Nice and thick epoxy on here. What I love about these chunky mixes that have all these different sizes in them is how it fills in. The fine fills in where the chunky doesn't get. So you very rarely have your base showing. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Woodlands is, Woodlands, isn't that also by Houston? I feel like there's a bunch of y'all right now. That's great. Oops. So, there I go again. I really am trying to not say that word so much. I'm sorry. What I've been doing to avoid glitter kind of raining down on my other colors is just throwing a little matte on here. Okay, so you got like 1.5 you're representing. I'm going to just throw a little bit of clear coat. I have a box right here. Just enough to make sure that there's not going to be any fall off on there. Not a lot. If I do a lot of these pens at once, I start getting a little loopy because of the spray paint, but I don't think we'll be doing that many to be worried. Just gonna brush this off. Deborah Jo, no. Fran's is 2 hours east of Dallas. I know this because I'm 3 hours from Fran's, and it takes about an hour to get to 75. That's a highway. Peggy, what part of the Dallas area are you in? Peggy, I just moved from Louisville. Like just a few years ago, I work in Flower Mound. I'm in Justin. So we're practically neighbors. Lillian, there's not really a beginner's kit, so to speak. If you want to like build your collection, you can do that. I think there are some stores that offer turners and a few glitters to get you started. Peggy, message me on Facebook. I'll fill you in. There are some shops that I feel like I've seen that did a whole thing, like the everything. So this one is Masquerade. It's an oldie but goodie. It's similar to Alexis, but it's only purple and blue, where Alexis has a third color, and it's similar to Demi, but Demi has a different third color. I love this one. I feel like I've probably had this one for about 2 years. Oh, we got Kentucky also. That looks a little crazy and wild right now, but it should... Oh, you can't even see it. When it comes around, you'll see it. That last one looks a little crazy and wild, but that should flatten out pretty soon. It's warm enough in here, and the epoxy should be pliable enough. What I might do is go ahead and throw my heat lamp. Hey, I've dropped another degree. It's 88 now. Shouldn't be that exciting, but it kind of is. Oh, Lillian, yeah, Plano is about an hour and a half, maybe. Oh my gosh, this cup is going to be the death of me over here. It stopped turning again. Ugh. Okay. Here's another oldie but goodie. This is one that actually retired and then she brought back. It's a holographic rose gold chunky, and it has adorable little stars in there. It's called Dawson. This one makes a beautiful coaster. I made a coaster for someone at work in that color. It was perfect. I didn't say this, but I'm just rubbing it on here and then kind of dabbing around the edges here so that I'm not getting it accidentally in the opening there. And if you do, it's not the end of the world. You can use a blade or an X-Acto or something like that to kind of cut it out. Almost like you're cleaning the rim of your cup, but just a little different. All right, now for Dawson. I'm not super concerned with the end being kind of covered like that. Once I have epoxy on here really well, I can clean it up with a blade and then epoxy over it, and it smooths it right out. Next, let's do graffiti. It's a little bit of everything. It's a little brighter than Colors of the Wind if you have that one. It's pink and teal and blue and a little bit of lighter gold. It's pretty. Everyone does their pins differently. I've seen some people that they put the dowel on the other direction through that hole. Just whatever works for you. Oh yeah, Deborah Jo, I totally forgot. Yeah, Fran has her subscription and her designer box that you can do as a one-time purchase instead of having to do the subscription. Totally forgot, it's today only. I meant to screenshot that post and put it on the YouTube community and I totally forgot. I had a nice dinner with my sister-in-law and her brand new fiance. My brain was elsewhere. That's what that looks like. Lillian, yeah, Betty Davis is beautiful, but so is Ducking Gorgeous. I have to be so careful when I say that. It's purple combo. I'll grab it in a minute if you'll remind me. But Beyonce is beautiful. I love the little squares in it, the holographic squares. Sarah, I don't know if you were, I don't know. I didn't do that as a live. Never mind. I did a TikTok of the sub box opening. I mean the designer box opening. And I said something about how I thought they glowed, but then they didn't. Because I thought I remembered her saying that in her live of it. And I was out here one night and I came over, turned off the light above my workstation, and I freaked out a little bit because it looked like something glowing next to my head. And it was that because... Well, hi, Crystal. You have been gone for a while, but I haven't been on here for a while, so... Oh my gosh. So when I turned off that light and that thing started glowing next to me, oh man, I had a little bit of a moment. Oh man, some days I wonder about myself. Hi, Selena. I don't think I saw your name pop up earlier. I love glitter. It makes me so happy. Rainbows and glitter both make me so happy. I love them both. Glitter because it's all the sparkles, and rainbows just because they just, I don't know, they just seem like such positive little things. Love it, love it. I have an obsession with rainbow tumblers. I haven't made myself one, but I've bought I've got another one on the way that somebody posted in Fran's group. I wanted it and I was like, but I can make it. And then a couple days later I'm like, but I'm not gonna. So I messaged her and she hadn't sold it yet, so I was so happy. So it's on its way to me soon. Oh my gosh, there is a bug. That thing is ugly. Oh my gosh, y'all. What is that? Okay, I gotta spray this and get it on the turner so that I can get this bug. I don't know if it looks familiar. It's like got a long pointy nose almost. It looks like a beetle, but it's not. Ooh, what is this? Yeah, I'm gonna spray it with spray paint. See if it dies. It didn't die, but it's moving slower. But it's in the box now, so I feel safer. Not a big fan of these uninvited guests. Lamari, yeah, there is nothing wrong with supporting another small business. It's great, especially when it's something that you probably would never make for yourself. It kind of gives you variety that you wouldn't otherwise have. Okay, we did Dawson, we did that one. I did not say this out loud because I got distracted by the bug, but that was America. Just red, white, and red, blue, and silver. I really want to do this one, Atlantis. It's a color shift. I'm almost out of epoxy, so I might call it quits after this one because it is kind of getting late for everybody. Most of us, anyways. I think I've got enough epoxy for 2. And then it should be done. Yep, Sarah, you got it. You know. I bet you have a bunch of them. It seems like you've got a bunch of these already. I bet you have a bunch of her glitters, huh? Lamari, your secret is safe with me. My husband would die if he knew I spent $65 on the last one, knowing that I could have made it, but it wasn't his money, so he can't really say anything. It was my money. I intentionally leave money in PayPal so that I can make splurge purchases just like that. Oh, good, Sarah. I'm glad you found her because Fran is amazing. I really like her as a person. First, I liked her as a business owner, and I actually have gotten to know her a little bit personally, not like besties or anything, but she's just overall just nice and genuine, and she takes care of people. Amari, I do keep money in Cash App also, and Venmo. I have a nice little cushion in all of them, so I can just do whatever needs to be done. Like yesterday, my husband found this thing that he wanted. I was like, is that your Father's Day gift? Okay, fine. And I just hopped on there and ordered it and threw the PayPal on there. Didn't even have to worry. It was great. Alright, this is all I'm going to work on for tonight. It's a pretty good little mix there. I'll work on some others another time. But really, it's time to head inside. Wash the sweat off of this body because it's hot. We're still holding at 88. I'm going to have to... Oh, I'm a ding-dong. Seriously. Hi, Mari. That's like those don't worry, she won this stickers. I mean, you're supporting something. Is that any worse than going somewhere and buying something? I mean, no, there's nothing wrong with that. I actually ordered a stamp to be able to use with the little earring holders that I bought. And I can't wait to get it. That's another small business purchase. I've got some t-shirts on the way. I actually ordered a surprise t-shirt for my office manager from somebody off of TikTok. And that was in the mailbox Friday, but we were way too busy. And I didn't realize it was there until it was too late. So nothing wrong with that. That's the point of my story. That's the point of me saying that. Alright, so this is me being extra. I just use the same piece of tape. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. I'm sorry. I just wrapped a piece of electrical tape around here. Like I said, I like being a little extra careful. Before I take my gloves off, we're going to see if this cup over here is ready to be patted down. It should be. Yeah, that's pretty good. It's a little trickier with that heavy mix like that. Alright, so I've got a piece of parchment paper here, and we are just going to push this down. I don't want to slide everything around, I just want to push it down. You can kind of see where some of it came off, and that's okay. That's weird. That's a big old chunk of glitter. That's not going to work. That's weird. It's like an entire stack of glitter. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Just pat it down. I think on the one that I make for her, there's a Christmas light. I think on the one that I make for her, I'm going to do a glitter base and then do a light sprinkling of this on there. There's another one of those big giant stacks. What in the world? Holy cow, look how thick that stack of glitter is. I may have to go through this. I may have to go through the rest of that bag and not have that again. Not have to worry about the stacks. Some of these spots look like they're bald spots, but they're actually not. Like that right there looks like a bald spot, but it's actually a big giant pink star. But I'm glad I did the base, the color that I did. I'm not going to worry about that lip. I'm going to try and clean it up a little bit better. That's cool. There's a translucent mermaid right there. If this cup was completely rounded, I would roll it up in this and it'd be so much easier. But since this has the curve, it's not quite as easy. There's another one of those big giant stacks of glitter. Lamari, I'll actually post this in the group when it's done. I won't get back out here to work on it for a couple of days, but I'll post it. Okay, so I'm going to leave that be. That's pretty good. There's just a couple of spots that are really sticking up, but I think that'll be okay. Once I get some epoxy on there, it'll kind of camouflage that. There's another one of those big giant stacks. What in the world? Look at that. Lamari, it'll be up for sale. This is me test driving before using someone's actual Yeti. Unless I fall in love with it, then it won't be for sale. I'm digging it though. I love how busy it is. I'm gonna have to go through that whole thing of glitter because that is a lot of pink stacks of hearts. So I'm not gonna worry about those tiny little spaces because you really can't see them. Like I said, that looks like a space, but it's actually a star underneath there. So I'm gonna shove this back on there really good. Luckily now, if it stops turning, I'm not gonna be that because it's pretty set. That's a nice thing about using fast set epoxy, is that it's easy to kind of walk away from it pretty quickly. I know when to pat down the epoxy after it's had time to sit for a while. This is fast set, so really it only needs about 15 to 20 minutes, and I feel like it had more than enough. If it was a regular set epoxy instead of a fast set, I would probably give it more like an hour. Just enough time where it sets and kind of gets firm so you can push the stuff into it, push it down into it, kind of really get it nestled. When you put your epoxy on nice and thick, it kind of already nestles pretty good. You'll probably notice that there weren't too many crazies. That helps a lot. Okay, I'm walking away. I mean it this time. I'll post a picture of this whenever it's done. It's pretty fun. I'll see what she thinks about it. So one more time on the glitters that came in this month's subscription for the people that missed it at the beginning. We have Burnt Sienna. It's a color shift. It's like yellow, greenish, and orange. Nice little chunky. Crystal, the cup is jambalaya from, what did I do with it? Right here. Feather Bear. Bye, Peggy. That's jambalaya from Feather Bear, and then I added a pinch of all the shapes that I have. So the boots, the unicorns, the lights, the anchors, the sterns, the dinosaurs, a couple of Mickeys, some puzzle pieces, some Pac-Man, Christmas trees. Everything that I had went on there. A little bit of it, all of it. So Bevo Chunky is exactly that. It's the chunky version of the one that came out just a couple months ago. This happens to be Bevo right here. It's a holographic orange chunky. It's so pretty. No, that is not accurate. I grabbed from the wrong stack. There is a Bevo Fine that came out. This was part of last month's subscription box. Woody Chunky. It's not as red as it looks on screen. It's definitely like a chocolate, non-holographic. I have the Fine of this, and it's really, really nice. And then Nightlife Fine is, it's a color shift, but it's hard to pick up the color shift as obvious in the Fine on camera as it is in the Chunky. That cup has stopped turning again. It's a good thing. It's not time to walk away from it. I would lose my mind. So Sapphire Chunky, metallic, non-holographic. The last one is Myrtle. It's very similar to Elsa or Frozen or something along those lines. I can't remember which one exactly. Okay, so that is it. I've showed you the glitters that I've had for like 2 weeks, but I've just had too much fun to be able to do that. We worked on some pins, we did that. I was gonna epoxy my cup from earlier today, but that's not gonna happen. So this is the cup from the video that I uploaded earlier today. That's my take on a serape. It's not perfect, and the colors actually kind of did some weird stuff when I was doing the Mod Podge, but I like it. I'll do that later. Alright, if you guys have any questions or comments after this video uploads, you'll be able to leave comments again. And that is it. You guys have a good one. Stay safe out there. And stay cool. Or warm, depending on where you are. Crystal, I have not done a rubber band cut. The closest I've come is me shaping my lottery tickets. Letting them dry that way. Alright. Hey, I've dropped down to 87 degrees now. Getting there. You guys have a good one. Thank you, Mickey. Thanks for hanging around, y'all. If you can think of anything, post in the comments after this video uploads. And I promise to try not to be MIA as much lately. Life just gets in the way sometimes. It happens. Good night, y'all.